Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another night of Spoop. This is officially night 7. We are right smack dab in the middle of Spoopstober, or not Spoopstober, but the 13 Nights of Spoop. And we have with us on the couch a very special guest.
Mothman.
Miller Lite.
It's me.
Damn it, Heather. We have Mr. Clinton, a.k.a. the sugar daddy of the Renegades.
A.k.a. Beersman right now.
Yeah, a.k.a. Beersman Supreme. So he is
Please
sitting
send
here.
help. That's his 18th one since he's got here 4 hours ago.
No,
Bullshit.
no. That's at least his 50th. Come on, you're not giving him enough credit.
Yeah, you ain't giving me no credit.
Yeah, 18? What do you know? All right, so Clinton has
I can't
returned.
count. I'm only a moth.
Clinton has returned to us and has, he's brought with him beer, of course, but he's also brought with him a kit of customization where he is doing some really cool stuff for us for certain items that we have. Not going to reveal what that is because I think that is being saved for something a little bit later. So, stay tuned for that. But the film that we have on the docket as of right now is The Mothman Prophecies. You've read the title of this video. You know what's coming.
It's a biography.
Yeah, it's about her and her birth, her conception, her birth, and of course the terror that she strikes in everyone's hearts as she may or may not exist, and no one can confirm nor deny their existence. Although we can confirm her existence. She's right there. You are right there, aren't you?
If I wasn't fucking lazy, I would run off and make you edit it, like just me disappearing. But I don't want to get up.
The worst part is even when we think she's dead, there's 10 million more of her.
Damn, you're right.
We can never be free until it is winter.
Well, as the good old Ned Stark said before he lost his head, winter is coming.
So I was saying earlier, I feel like this movie will either be the point where Heather becomes the Mothman, or actually gets tired of her obsession with the Mothman, just depending on her opinion of this movie.
No, given the amount of stuff she's looked up about the Mothman, the amount of things she's seen with the Mothman, the amount of times she said, "Let's go to West Virginia," I don't think this will kill it.
Do you know how terrifying the Mothman actually kind of is?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like a 9-foot tall creature of just like.
Has nothing to do with his
I
physical
know.
appearance.
Isn't
It has to
he
do with the
sweet?
creepy ass shit he does to people.
Well, yeah, I mean, he fucks with people's heads. But if I were ever confronted by like a 9-foot monster with glowing red eyes, I'd shit myself. Like I would literally just look up at that thing and just be like,
Yeah, pretty
"That's
much.
my defense mechanism. Take it as it is."
Pooh is coming out.
Well, I won't say anything else because I don't want to spoil anything from this movie, but I mean, it's stories that if you've read a lot about, you've probably already heard, but there's one particular story that a lady tells that it made all the hairs on the back of my neck go, woo!
Yeah, same here. I think I know the one you're talking about.
I was just like, nope!
Yeah, there's a lot in this that's just like, it deals with, it's almost Lovecraftian with its existential dread, with its looming fear of the unknown, and just outright mystery because you don't understand what's going on.
Stuff that people say actually happened.
Well, yeah, during the peak years of when the Mothman supposedly interacted with humanity. Actually, some people have said you've heard the theory about the Dark Knight, right, or the Black Knight. Supposedly, it's a satellite that's been orbiting the Earth since 1300 BC. They say that's the Mothman.
One of my favorite metal musicians that makes music by himself has a song called Black Knight Satellite.
Yeah, and it's that plus the Polybius game cabinet, shit like that scares me the most. Just thinking, because having that stuff is just like, ooh. It's like sends chills down your spine. And the Mothman, the theory of the Mothman, actually, it's kind of like Theory of a Dead Man, Theory of the Mothman. Hey, Heather, there's a new band idea for you.
Oh, Theory of a Mothman. I like
Ironically,
that's catchy.
Or unironically, I don't know. I have seen Theory of a Dead Man live.
Uh-huh.
So just for you to make that joke, I was just like, oh, that's an actual band I'm aware of.
Yeah.
They opened for Bush when I saw Bush.
This is a band called Bush.
I've only ever heard one song by Bush.
Which one?
Yes.
The one that everybody's heard.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know that. I know.
I said which one, and I knew.
Machine Head?
Yeah. I knew.
I know the lead singer Gavin Rossdale was married to Gwen Stefani for frick knows how long, and that to me is just like, wow, he was able to actually find her because she's so skinny. I don't know how anyone's actually able to see her. She's like really skinny. I mean, scary skinny, and she hasn't aged a day since she was like 25.
Vampire.
Vampires are scary.
Imagine a place where nothing makes sense,
So vampires
where
are
a number
scary?
of people
Yeah, have you
sit
ever
on
met
a
a vampire?
couch and ponder
No.
the ideas of the world. They are not Cracker
Not that I
Barrel
know of,
philosophers.
anyway.
They
Wait.
are the renegades.
Have you ever met a vampire?
Yes.
Have you seen 30
ex-girlfriend.
Days of Night?
No.
You should watch that movie sometime if you think vampires are scary.
She was
I
a
never met
vampire.
her. I never met her.
30 Days of Night, in my opinion, has some of the most
Yes.
intimidating fucking vampires I've ever seen.
Yes,
Yes,
that
thank you.
It's a
30
good
Days of
vampire
Night is
Beautiful.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
The idea of
Ooh.
that.
We should add that.
I really,
Damn, you're right. We need to add that.
We need to add
Why didn't
that.
I think of that one?
Yeah.
I think wow, where'd it go? Where'd the thought go? Where did it go?
There it is, right there. Will it come back? Will it come back? Oh, is it going back? Heather, it's leaving. It's gone.
It's yeah.
So I was gonna say either 30 Days of Night or Lost Boys. Should watch
Lost
one of
Boys
those
is
two.
another really good one.
You seen
those
Lost
are,
Boys?
She's never seen anything, dude.
No? Okay.
I
I just want to make sure there's a small chance you could have seen it.
my thought came back, and it was definitely a lame thought that it was just. I claimed I've never met a vampire, but I probably am a vampire. I have insomnia, and I purposely go to Walmart at like 2 a.m. so I don't have to go out during the daytime.
Congratulations, I've been doing that for over 10 years.
I'm a vampire.
We're all
I
vampires
think
in
we're
our own
all
way.
vampires at that
Yeah,
point.
except there's one big thing about us. We don't drink blood, and we're not a bunch of cheap edgelords who are just like, society has cast us out. We are not worthy of society. Yeah, society can go fuck itself.
Everyone at
Amen.
Chris's work thinks I'm a vampire now.
No, Heather, you can't be a vampire and Mothman at the same time.
Vampire Mothman?
Bet.
What?
Vamp Mothman.
How do you know
Ugh.
Mothman wasn't the
Just the
vampire in
thought
its
of
true
that.
form?
There's no bueno.
Damn, you're right. What if that is a vampire in its true form? Is Mothman?
Ooh.
It's like a vampire lord.
Yeah, it's like he is Nosferatu. He is. He, like,
All it is a
Mothman-
vampire that went walking really late at night, like on the certain place, and just noticed that there was, he's like, these are rusty. I should warn people. And he tried to warn everybody. Nobody listened, and then it happened anyway. Okay.
Well, there you go. That's just
Yeah.
What
all it
if
is.
that's the thing? I mean, what if Mothman is Nosferatu, and Nosferatu is just like trying to save humanity just so he can suck their blood later?
And he gave up after that because he's like, nobody listens, so why bother?
Yeah. So anyway, the Mothman Prophecies. We have the film ready to view up here on the screen. Let's get it on screen, and let's see what Heather thinks about some Mothman Prophecies.
Yeah, are you there? Are you still there? Yeah, no, I'm back. I'm not sure I got the spelling. It
My
is-
mom's biggest crush for the longest time.
Richard Gere?
Yes. Ever since she saw him in Officer and a Gentleman.
I actually really like this opening music because it's got a Akira Yamaoka vibe to it.
Yeah.
Or with the way the style is, it almost reminds you like a James Bond
Yeah, to an
from the
extent,
olden
yeah.
days.
Kind of, yeah.
A little more subtle, of
It's
course.
not as hokey as those.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Damn, you haven't even put an offering on the house and you're already christening it. What in the world?
Straight people are weird.
Got him! Busted! Good closet space.
Decisions right now. We'll take it.
What do you think? We'll take it. Crunch. Just get right back into their nookie sesh in the middle of a freaking closet. God.
Oi. Oofa.
Heather?
Yeah. It's hand sanitizer.
Okay.
That actually is hand sanitizer.
I know.
I've seen a bottle like that
I'm
before.
just trying to be an asshole.
I was like,
I love hand sanitizer so much.
Just don't drink it.
Yeah, but
Otherwise
Oh, I just realized what you thought it was.
It took you a little bit.
Well, the doy, Heather. What did you think?
Well, at first I thought you thought it was like a shot of alcohol, and I was like, what?
No.
And I was like,
What shot glass looks
Yeah,
like that?
I was like, what? Like 99er looks like that, and
God damn it, Heather.
Wow, that I
Well-
did not expect.
for those of you wondering, I recently started dating someone, and we watched movies down here, not last night, but the night before. And this is my hand sanitizer because I use one of these like almost every single like 2 or 3 hours, and I just have one down here because we were down here for a few hours, and like
Nate just grabs it and
Nate
looks
thought
at
she
it.
left
He's just
something
like,
else down
Heather.
here.
and
It's like,
Yeah, this
hum
is-
diddly
this
hum.
is from Bath and Body Works. You can tell it is.
Spectacular.
It is
Does not sponsor the stream, but they could get in contact with me.
Hey.
This video is not sponsored by Bath and Body Works, but it could be. Your move, Bath and Body Works.
Your call.
This is not lube.
I know. I'm just being an asshole.
Is that staying in the edited version?
Probably.
More than likely, because that was just phenomenal.
That was just awesome.
Okay, so great. My partner will see this in the video when they watch it. Great.
If they don't get a laugh out of it, hey, tough on
if
them.
that's the case, hi.
Hi. Hola. How are you?
I'm sure they'll laugh.
Of
I
course.
don't think it's great because I'm probably really red. It was
All right, here we go. Let's
right.
get back to it.
gross.
Batman's the only one that can fight the Mothman. Because he is the Batman.
Batman.
Batsy
Fighter of the Mothman.
Champion of the night.
You're a master of karate and brooding for everyone.
I think he knows more than karate. I've been waiting.
What did you do?
Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
Mister, I don't know who you are.
Well, I'll be right back.
okay.
I gotta go to the bathroom too.
Gordon, let me talk to you. Where's my watch?
In your shirt. Under the bed.
What's my head? What's the third line? Page 51.
Still more proof, John Clark? You will see her in time.
Hello.
There he was. Hey, Mothman.
That's the second scene that I remembered.
Yeah.
You slam that door and you see that and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Sends a chill down your spine.
was
Okay,
some hair.
so the second half of the movie is where the good stuff is.
I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, it's looking like it's picking up. So there you go. That is the Mothman. The Mothman Prophecies.
Mothman.
Mothman.
They said the real cause was never determined, but it says investigation of the wreckage pointed to the cause of the collapse being the failure of a single eye bar in a suspension chain due to a small defect 0.1 inches or 2.5 millimeters deep. Analysis showed that the bridge was carrying much heavier loads than it had originally been designed for and had been poorly maintained.
Sounds about right.
The
Well, there
collapsed
you go.
bridge was replaced by the Silver Memorial Bridge, which was completed in 1969. This original collapse took place in 1967.
There you go.
I just really felt like they took way too long to build it up.
Yeah.
There was
had
a lot more
lot.
of not much happening in there than I remember.
Well,
And
yeah.
I'm almost wondering if I saw like a different like director's cut version or something.
To
It
my,
might be a different
to my
version of
understanding,
it.
there is a different cut out there that is actually a lot more streamlined.
That might be why.
Because to me, I mean, they could have done so much.
There's even stuff missing like from that I swear that I remembered. Like I swore I remember the dude not just talking about his eyes swelling up, but you actually seeing his eyes all fucked up afterwards.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm remembering like some other stuff I went and watched after I saw this because I was just interested in the Mothman after I saw this.
Maybe you see, I would love for them to come back to this with a more capable-minded director. Mark Pellington has done some other films, but nothing that's really stood out to me. Whereas if they were to go and approach this with, like, actually do something within the time period at which it was originally set, because the original tragedy, like you said, happened back in 1967. So I would actually do a period piece and actually have it set back then, and I'd keep the investigative journalist idea. But instead of them being there doing an investigation on the Mothman, instead they're there investigating the chemical plant. And actually that could be the primary motive for him to be there. And he thinks that a chemical plant explosion is going to happen, but nothing happens. And then the bridge collapses. And everything that happens leads up to that. And it's him trying to put all the pieces together. And, you could... There's a lot you can do with
There was not enough Mothman chasing cars in this.
Going on that, it was like the first part we saw more of Mothman. The second part was just Richard Gere losing his freaking mind. It really just felt more like a psychological issue more towards the end. And I was like, what is going on here?
I'm so confused because I swear that there was more creepiness in it than there was in that.
I had the same thing like when I last watched it when I was a kid as well, and I was like, I thought there was more into this.
Well, there's different perspectives we had when we were kids. Keep in mind, also, the way they make movies nowadays has changed so much more. That's like a lot of the shots that they did in this, I felt went on a little too long. Some of the stuff that they use, some of the techniques they use. Some of the stuff's very inventive, like the transitions and everything.
Oh, yeah.
How everything molds together with the transitions. I like that. But some of the cuts and some of the shots go on just a little too long, and you have to maintain pacing in a film, otherwise people are going to start being like
that bridge scene there at the end. How long it took. I'm like, all right, come on, just fall already. I'm waiting for it.
Well, there is a way you could do it. I mean,
Final Destination. Which one was it?
5. It was the 5th one. Supposedly the last one, and I'm hoping the last one because they ended it on a high note, and it brought everything together so well. Like everything tied together so well.
Now those are movies I should have never watched. With my anxiety and paranoia, oh gosh.
Well, for me, the first 3 and the 5th one are the best ones. I'd say probably if I had to rank them, okay, if I had to rank them, number 1, number 5, number 2, number 3, and number 4. The 4th one was just ugh.
Which one was the 4th one even?
The 4th one was the guy where the guy got his asshole reversed by the pool.
By event.
In a pool.
By event.
In a pool.
In a pool.
No.
By event in a pool.
But like.
Yeah.
Which movie by event? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, the guy was in the swimming pool.
So there's roller coaster, there's airplane, there's bridge.
Racetrack.
Okay.
Racetrack was the big tragic one. It's the one that had the obligatory, like, some of the stupid stuff in it that honestly detracted too much from the story.
I stopped watching after the second one.
The roller coaster one was the first one I saw.
That's the third one.
I saw the first one first. The first one was actually the highway accident, wasn't it?
No, that was actually the
first one was the plane.
No, the first one was the plane. First one was the plane.
Second one is the main reason I don't ride behind logging trucks.
Yeah,
same. I still
since I saw that movie.
That's why,
dude.
My sister says she has the same exact fear.
No,
like to this day, every time I get behind one, I think about that movie, and I'm just like,
you think about that log coming through the windshield, just obliterating.
No shit.
Just red mist.
I do that with any truck that has anything similar on it, like pipes or like.
Yeah, like anything that looks like that shit could happen.
I just kind of no.
For me, okay. The reason why I like the 5th one so much is because it had the bridge collapse scene. The bridge collapse was the big thing in that one. In that one, they made the bridge collapse so compelling, and it's because you saw everything that was going on. What they should have done is, hey, the people who've been involved with the Mothman stuff, like show them how they die or how they survive and stuff like that. Instead of being like focusing on Richard Gere and doing the shaky cam and everything. Instead, pull the camera back and like have the special effects, like show the bridge starting to collapse, and then like you come up on like a mother and child trying to get off the bridge, and the mother falls down a pit, like part of the bridge collapses under her and she falls down, and the kid's left reaching in for his mom and stuff like there's different stuff you can do to make the whole thing
they
a lot
totally
more
were
engaging.
just kind of like bouncing angles with the same guy, and I was just like, I was sitting here trying to follow what they were trying to show me, but I wasn't seeing anything, and I was
it got
just
real
really
confusing.
It was just a bunch of noise.
I was just getting irritated.
As we were talking about pretty much in the beginning, the transitions,
and
the cinematography, how it was looking great. It was looking great at the beginning of the film.
But then,
by the end, it was like, all right, you're doing this every other scene. Give me one sight.
I thought it was super fucking cheesy.
Well, what you got to do? Well, here, okay, let's look at how much money they were given to make this, because I can understand if they weren't given much of a budget.
I'm starting to feel now like I pieced my own memory of this movie together based off of things that I knew about the Mothman outside, and I actually wrote a better movie in my head. That's some meta shit right there.
Yeah. If I would have done that, Wikipedia would have just come up and said, "You're an asshole." I'd have laughed.
Wikipedia's just like, oh, fuck
okay,
yourself.
They didn't have that much of a budget. They only had $32 million. I say only $32 million. In Hollywood standards, that is nothing. That is nothing. $32 million, especially in the 2000s.
Did it even like make that back?
Okay. Yeah, it made it back.
That first lady that was talking about when she saw the Mothman in her backyard under the tree, that was going where I read the original recounts, I thought, but it cut short before they told the part that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, which is the fact that she couldn't look away from him, and she knew the time whenever she started to look out the window because she had seen her clock, and she felt like it was only a few seconds that she stared at him for, you know. And then whenever she did break eye contact with him finally, she had lost like several hours. So basically she stood there staring at this fucking thing for like 3 hours without realizing it. And that part just really creeped me the hell out, like when I heard that recollection of
Well,
And
You know, that event.
Go
And
ahead, go
they
ahead.
should have used that in the movie. Like,
it was like, when he was driving and he was on his way to Richmond, Virginia, and then all of a sudden he's in Pleasant Plains,
Yeah.
West Virginia. He's on the other side of the state.
that
Like,
was
that
the
was
only,
He's
like,
it was
weird
only
thing.
like 2 minutes, and he's like, I've driven like 400 miles in less than 2 hours. What the holy shit?
I mean, maybe like this was closer to when X-Files had come out, and they felt
Yeah.
like people
Yes.
would have been like, "Oh, you're ripping off like the first episode of X-Files way too much."
kind of, yeah, kind
Or
of.
something if they had done that.
Well-
But like, I think that shit's creepy, and it's a good horror trope that not many people use.
Well, if it's done effectively, I mean, the way they pulled it off in this was actually pretty effective because not only do you have him being out of the loop on the whole situation, you also have people that know him that he has never met before. Like Gordon. When he met Gordon, it was just like, and Gordon just like is ready to kill him because 3 nights in a row of this shit.
Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
this is getting
What do you
ridiculous,
not
man.
understand?
Yeah, and he doesn't know what the hell's going on, and you see, I like stuff like that. I like stuff that makes you question, like, do you actually remember everything, or were you put under a trance, or has something else transpired that you don't remember? I mean, it makes you question your sanity. It makes you question, are you really in control of yourself? Is there something wrong with you? Is there someone else pulling the strings? I mean, it's really good stuff, and I think if they were to give this another shot, I'd put it in a more capable director.
Overall, I think you could trim this specific movie down like 20 minutes and make it a better movie.
Well, one thing,
Like,
and
I
also,
mean,
I'd reshoot the
you
bridge
know.
scene too.
Reshoot the bridge scene, cut right in between an hour and 20 minutes. Go ahead and just cut that, and I think that would be a little bit better at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But,
Just,
I mean,
just
even
to shorten it. 'Cause
even
it's-
without reshooting the bridge scene, just cutting a lot, like
Trimming the fat.
some of the bridge scene is part that you would cut. So like,
Yeah.
basically,
like a bunch of stupid cuts.
it would go from like my original rating of this movie when I was a kid was like, dude, like 9 out of 10. Like this freaked me the fuck out. Like when I'm
Yeah.
watching it now, I'm like, this is more like a 4.5 out of 10. It was.
I go
a
an
lot
even
more
50,
boring
like
than
an
I
even
remember.
5, like
But-
an even 5
I
out
would
of
probably
10.
throw
If
it
you
at
were to
about
just
a
cut it down like
3.
that, I would
I'm
probably
with you.
at least
I
give
really
it.
hated it.
That's
I would
fair.
probably give it back up to like a 7 if you just cut out all the shit that
Cut
like,
out the
took
fat.
way too much time.
Yeah.
Trim.
Well.
There was a lot of silence and pausing and like stupid.
There were like
Stupid shots.
1 or 2 like conversations that almost felt like pointless.
It was like,
There was one line of dialogue in particular. Oh, we're getting engaged. Okay. Like,
Well.
what? What was the point of that?
Well,
Like I sat there after, and was like, why did she say that?
Well,
Like,
no, well,
like,
if
who
I think
cares?
that was presented out of sync with how the scene was supposed to go. I think one reason why is just like, how long have you all been coming here? So like blah 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 and blah blah blah. Okay, so has it have you ever noticed anything when you've been out here before? No, and then it's just like, can you think of anything that has there been any stress or anything like that? And it's like, oh, we got engaged recently, and my parents never really liked him that much. Like, if you'd had that, I think that would have, and plus, you could have delved into them and, like, the pressure that they're going through by her parents not approving of him, and also the things that they're experiencing as well. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff you could have
The
delved
way they-
into
the
that
way
would have
they
gotten
did
rid
it,
of a lot of
though,
the
it just-
silence.
It felt awkward as hell, just the fact that she said it in
No,
that
yeah, she
context.
said it without
Like, no
context.
It was strange.
Yeah, she said it with no
It seems
context
pointless.
that's tied to it. And you see, sometimes I dig silent moments, but it's only when the tension is there's very high tension, and the silence speaks so many volumes.
I actually watched
But-
the movie last night. Have you guys heard of Hold the Dark?
I think I have.
I've heard of it.
It's a new Netflix original, and it's very strange, but there's a lot of the movie that's shot, and basically it almost feels like it's fluff, but after you see it, you're kind of like, but cool. Like it's like all right. Like there's this plane scene and it draws out like really long. And even the guy that we were watching afterwards that was analyzing the movie and kind of trying to help everybody understand it just because of how strange it is, he was talking about the way it was shot, and it's like he was basically allowed to make the movie he wanted to make, and like this plane scene, it's like, yeah, it draws out a little long, but it's a really beautiful shot, and it's just kind of like, all right, like, you know, once it gets through it, and it's like if you can do stuff like that and just give stuff at least some semblance of a point,
Yeah.
like, then it's a lot more entertaining than when there's stuff that your whole audience is just struggling to be like, what was the point of that, you know?
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in this, I think, well, you know, we're going to say that, I'll keep saying this time and time again, so many things could have changed that could have made this film into something amazing.
I'm just super fucking disappointed that Mothman did not attack the car of one damn teenage couple. Not one.
The closest it was the two that were in the
And I
back
thought
seat.
it was gonna happen, yeah. But I'm talking in the original account, they're like driving down the road and Mothman's chasing after them, like trying to get into their car. Like, that shit would have been cool.
Well, I would like to see maybe, you know what? Hey, David Fincher, where Netflix is kind of giving you the shaft when it comes to doing the next season of Mindhunters. Try this shit out.
Mothman.
Give it a try.
Give the Mothman a shot, dude.
I wanna
Given how good he is,
Give us the cryptid version.
give us a great version of Mothman. Heck, if anything, you know what? Why don't we give it a shot?
That's kind of what I was thinking just now. I was like, we could
Heather's
actually try making
Mothman.
our own Mothman short film if we wanted to.
We probably could.
I think we could, honest to God, do a really good, like, 10 to 15 minute Mothman film if we actually sat down and did it. Like, I sincerely, I could see us driving up there to do it and everything. Like,
Well,
specifically.
I actually already had plans in my mind for a Mothman costume because I wanted it to be a 2-person costume where one person kind of sits on the other person's shoulders, so it would be real fucking tall. And I was like, this would be hilarious to just go down to like this one road in Bluntville that's like so fucking creepy and like desolate. Just stand on the side of the road with like 2 big red lights glowing and stuff. You know, look like an 8 foot
We
tall.
just go over to
I was like, around
420.
here, though,
Spread-
some redneck would pull over and blow us away with a shotgun.
yeah, like, you have your
You
arms
wouldn't
outspread.
win.
Well,
I'm just gonna go
actually, you know
running down
what?
421
You know what?
bridge.
We can write something. And we'll see if we can. We'll see if we can shoot it. I'll run it by you all what you think in terms of the idea, and then
we need to
can-
go back through the accounts
Yeah.
and read them and either pick one really good creepy one or pick a few of them and put them together and see how we can write that into a really creepy film like about the Mothman without it being like cheesy as fuck, you know?
Yeah. We'll have to give that a shot. Hey, let us know if you all want us to give that a shot because hey, I'm up for it.
I'm
I'm up to film.
We love throwing ideas around.
Honestly,
yeah.
like minus my my idea for like someone sitting on top of someone's shoulders for a costume, Clinton's pretty tall. You could maybe play the Mothman.
Well, that we could also get like the.
Well, we
like
could
the
work
wolf
on
Get you
stilts.
some platforms.
Wolf stilts, or we could get some like dowels or something we can put up just to hold the body up. We could think. Of
Yeah,
something.
there's a lot of stuff we can do, and I
Because I am 5'3".
yes, you are short.
You would have to be haunted by Mothman.
No,
I
you'd
don't
be,
think you could be the Mothman.
No, you'd be someone.
You
who
could sit on
just-
someone's shoulders though. Like
Well,
Oh,
you could
too
actually
fat for
be.
that, but-
Actually, you know what you could be? You could actually be like the crazy conspiracy vlogger who is obsessed.
The
with
whole video is just, the whole movie is me, like, camera in face, Resident
No.
Evil 7 style.
Well-
Just, hey, okay, so I was just in the woods, and I saw Mothman.
No. Well, you're wanting to see Mothman, and you're coming
And it
across
was
all
great.
these people. No. You're wanting to see the Mothman, but yet you keep coming across all these people who see it, and you're trying to figure out what it wants from them, and if there's a way you can contact it.
also
Peter
just
Parker
for
doing Infinity War vlogging.
Kind of, yeah. Well, except that was played for comedy. We're wanting to go for like suspense and,
Yeah,
and
but-
horror and psychological.
just for like
tension.
suspension of disbelief on behalf of our fan base, we should try like Heather could play the main character for sure, but like we should try to get people that we're interviewing that are not us. So it's not like Heather
absolutely.
interviewing us.
No, absolutely. I think we could do that, and there's also like potential for us to be in as like side, like not side characters, but more like walk on cameos and
We'll
stuff
have
like
to
that.
have Zach arrest me for being trespassing.
There you go.
Well, yeah, he'll just come up and he'll just be like, man, you cannot break into someone's house. I wasn't breaking into someone's house. I'm investigating. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And
it's like it's almost like I would develop the personality of May from Night in the Woods, where it's just like, I'm not doing anything wrong. Everyone in this town's fucking crazy. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot we can play with, and I'll write something out and see what we can come up with, and I'll run it by you all and see.
It's not like we're in a super big rush or anything either.
No rush to it. Let's just write. I'll write a treatment and see what we can do. See what can come of it.
Now the funnier thing is, because of who we are as people, we are going to be keeping the blooper reel, right?
Yes.
Oh God, yes.
Of course we will, because that'll be a whole thing.
Has camera on myself filming a serious scene, drops the fucking camera, you just hear, fuck.
Like all of a sudden you're holding the camera, you're just like, so what do you? And you just dissociate right there, and you're just like.
Okay. Or no, you're holding the camera and it's just like you hear that you're trying to do that loud screech. It's like
Heather forgets to silence her phone while she's interviewing somebody, and they just finish telling their creepy ass story about Mothman.
It goes,
can't do that voice.
No, when I drop something, have I done it around you guys yet? I think I've done it to Nate on accident. But like sometimes when I drop something, I don't know if I can do it on instinct, but I kind of just do this. Like,
You did it today on the Propel.
I went.
She dropped her water and she did that same voice. That's good.
I can see it. All of a sudden you're out in the woods, and you're just like.
Another
God
sound I
freaking
do.
damn it.
It's like if I'm trying to carry something and it's getting too heavy, you'll hear me go like, like I just make the dumbest fucking sounds all the time. And
Shit. Like. Oh.
I make a lot of like squeaks and squeals when I'm
crazy
running
girl.
around in my life.
You're absolutely nuts.
People have made fun of some of the sounds I've made on stream before too. It's
Well.
like when I almost get hit by something, and I'm just like shit like that.
What was it when we did Deceit
Oh
for the
yeah.
community stream? I was over there making some weird noises. 'Cause you fuckers.
Yeah, like
I'm over here.
you're like.
Clinton, are you okay? Pooh is coming out. Get away.
There's like
Oh god.
there's like
the
5
seat.
minutes of me actually screeching during the Bloodborne stream I did, but I was doing good. I actually made it through the area, but I was panicking and like button smashing through the whole thing, and I'm just screeching the whole time. And so there's like 3 or 4 minutes of screeching, but then I survived, and it was kind of amazing. It really was. You weren't there because you don't watch my streams anymore.
I'm hardly on YouTube anymore.
I just showed up for the part
I
where
come
you
home,
summon
I
Chris,
eat, and I go to bed.
and then you
I
immediately
haven't
died.
been on anything.
And you're like, no, I don't have any insight to
Yeah.
resummon. What's up?
No, like like the big bonfire. You know the one, the first area where there's like 20 fucking people.
there's a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
dudes.
that nightmare.
I am dodging, screeching, and hitting things for 4 minutes, and it just somehow worked out. It was amazing.
Like the second or third time, I think it was like after I'd beaten the game, and then I went back through there, and I was like, you know what? Fuck these guys, and I just ran in and like was like, I'll fight all of you, and I somehow killed everybody.
That's basically what happened. I went, I'm gonna run in just to make Ben mad, and he goes, oh my god, she just ran in, and then it worked out.
Yeah. Like, and all of a sudden, as soon as all the guys are down on the ground, in the background, you just hear, "Do you serve chicken?" So yeah. All right, that was the Mothman Prophecies. Overall, still to me, still some good stuff in it, but overall, just a disappointing film. That's sad to say, but hey.
It just,
Hopefully,
Mothman is much fucking creepier if you read into all the accounts. So I recommend, if this interests you and you thought this was a bad movie, you don't know much about Mothman, go look some shit up online and read some interviews.
And this just proves
stuff
that
like
you can't slap Mothman on anything for me to like it.
This is true.
That
It's
is true.
All right. Well, that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you all in the next video. Until then, peace out.